Hey, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and you've seen this video before. I've made this video the past 2 games in a row, actually. We lost, again, 6-2 against the Colorado Rockies. Or 6-3, excuse me. Like, I don't know what to say, right? It's getting bad at this point. The Astros lose another winnable game. We put up 5 runs in a 2-game series in Coors Field. The offensive pinball machine that is Coors Field, and you put up 5 runs. That is, 2.5 runs a game, which is 2 runs less league average. Here's the difference, though. 2 runs less than league average, but you're in Coors Field. That's unacceptable. That is, I don't know what happened. I don't know how this keeps happening. We are currently, after this game, we are now 7-10. 7-10. We are awful. We're awful. We're going to be 4 games behind in the lead league for our division. And we are 17 games into the season. That will put us at 1-9 over the last 10. And that means we have won, we've won 3 games since that opening series. Since the opening series, we got 1 against the Oakland Athletics at home, 1 against the Angels on the road, and we took the 1-0 win against the Mariners in Seattle. And that's it. This includes a loss against the Angels that you almost rallied back, but, that happened. 2 embarrassing losses against the A's at home in Minute Maid, a 3-game sweep by the hands of the Tigers, and a 2-game stretch, granted we won one of them, but essentially a series where the Mariners waterboarded us, and now a 2-game sweep against the Colorado Rockies, who are currently, although I don't think they are anymore, they were the worst team in baseball, but now they're going to get their 6th win, which puts them just 1 game behind us for the season. I don't think we're the worst team in baseball, because I see this going around a lot, and I said it during the game. I said we are currently the worst team in baseball. And after thinking about it, I don't think that's true. I don't think we're the worst team in baseball. I think we're playing the worst baseball of any team in the league, if that makes any sense, right? We have a talented starting 9. You have top to bottom when they're all healthy. You have Jose Altuve. He's an ex-MVP. You have Michael Brantley, who's like a 5-time, 6-time All-Star and always bats .300. That's great. His on base is always .360, .370. That's fantastic. You have Bregman, who's been for the past 2 years, top MVP voting. I keep thinking this is 2020 and not 2021. Had those incredible 2 runs, and last year wasn't too shabby before he got injured. You have Correa, who's a very good player. You have Yordan Alvarez, who was a Rookie of the Year, and if he can be at his full potential, is one of the best hitters in all of baseball. Not players, but hitters. We have a talented lineup. We have talented pitching, right? Zach Greinke, Hall of Fame pitcher. You have Lance McCullers Jr., very, very, very solid pitcher. You have talent. We just aren't doing anything right now. We are the unluckiest team in baseball. Our expected batting average is, I believe, .278, and our actual batting average right now is in the 240s. That's unlucky. Kyle Tucker, and he should have had at least 2 or 3 hits today. He was just getting very unlucky. 2 bullets. I think a 105 and like a 110 off the bat for Kyle Tucker today. His expected batting average versus his actual batting average is such an absurd difference. I think it's like a 90-point differential between what he's actually hitting, because he's hitting about 180 right now. I want to get this correct. Tucker, 169. Nice. And his expected batting average is like about 190 or 270, 280, I believe. We're getting unlucky. And there's a certain time where you can say, well, you're unlucky, and then you get to a point with a team. And if it was one player, you'd let him go for as long as possible. You're like, you know what? You're just getting unlucky. We'll hold out hope. You can pick it up. But the entirety of the team is unlucky right now. We're just not getting hits. And I think it's, partially because MLB's shifting is getting out of control. Side note, I've been completely against banning the shift for as long as I've been a fan, but I'm getting to the point where I think it needs to be, because baseball is essentially becoming golf, because you can just perfectly place players wherever you want them to be and limit the other team from getting any hits. So essentially now it's just becoming a game of, do you want to strike out, walk, or hit a home run, and that's basically it. And the Astros didn't do much of that today. We had 5 hits and 3 RBIs, all off of the bat of Yuli Gurriel, who was not batting in the top 5 today. He was batting 6th because reasons. We, for some reason, had Chas McCormick lead off, and I like Chas McCormick. I don't like him as a leadoff hitter, but I like him. So yeah, this game was just bad. 4 runners left on base, 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. This is just bad. This is a bad game. Another one. And it's not going to get easier, because I went into the upcoming schedule, the other day. You know, where are the wins going to come from? You have a 4-game set, against the Angels. You have a 4-game set against the Mariners, who are both clearly decent teams this year. The Angels are doing pretty well, you know. They have enough talent that they're going to find wins, and that could be rough. Then you have a 3-game set against Tampa Bay, who they're not, the same Rays from last year, but are still a very good team. And then you have a 3-game set against the Yankees, who are still a very, very solid team, and that's in New York. Like, where are you going to get wins from the next bit? Like, are you going to win any of those series? At this point, from what we've watched the past 2 weeks, I don't think you're going to win any of them. Like, and not any of the games, but any of the series, I could see Tampa Bay sweeping us. I could see the Mariners getting 3 of the 4, and I could see the Angels getting 3 of the 4. So you get maybe, 2 wins between now and the 2nd of May? Like, that's absurd. That's unacceptable. Like, I don't know what you can do in these upcoming weeks. It's a hard schedule right now, and, eventually it's going to start getting easier, right? You'd think. But these were 2 massive games that you had to pick up against the Rockies, and you couldn't. Now, that being said, I want to say one thing before I actually get to an important thing. I know we lost and the game sucked from that respect, but gosh, wasn't that just such a pretty aesthetic game to watch with just the snow billowing, especially in the 8th and 9th innings, where it was just coming down hard and you could barely see. I loved that. That is a memory I'm going to remember forever, watching that super snowy game. But on to the actual thing that I wanted to talk about baseball-wise, I'm not worried with the team right now. And you're probably thinking, Weston, how are you not worried? Are you an idiot? And that's a valid question. And no, I don't think I am. We usually don't start well. That's just sort of the case. Your Urquidy today, I thought pitched better than it seemed. I thought he went out there and didn't know how to pitch in the cold and then figured it out really quickly. I think we're going to figure it out. We are too talented of an organization, too talented of a roster not to figure it out. And so, yeah, right now, the games are awful. Right now, it's bordering on unwatchable baseball. But I still think you're going to figure it out. I think come late July, you're going to be ahead and in the first spot in the AL West. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm a sucker for the Astros, and I'm going to believe something that isn't going to happen. Maybe that's possible. That's very possible. But I know what the lineup is capable of. I know what the pitching staff is capable of, and I know what the bullpen is. And I have that feeling that this is just a really, really, really bad start, awful start to the season. But you're mostly just getting unlucky, and I think come July and August and maybe even really late June, things are going to be back to normal. I think you're just having an awful start to the season. Hopefully by the time the month is over and you close the book on April, you can get a fresh start and really start to come out of this. That's my hope. And that's really all I have. I want to briefly get into the pitching lines because, that's a thing that I do. Jose Urquidy, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Again, I thought he pitched better than that because all 4 of those runs came in the first 2 innings where he just wasn't. He's never pitched. He's from Mazatlan, Mexico, pitching in a 44 or a 34-degree game. I'm not going to hold that against him. Brennan Bielak, I thought, looked okay. Gave up 2 runs, 4 hits in 2 innings. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And then Peter Solomon, really, really solid outing. 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Should have been 3 strikeouts. That first batter completely struck out. That was just a total missed call. So we should have struck out the side, still giving up that hit. But I thought he was good. I think this could be a really solid addition in Peter Solomon to the bullpen. I think that'd be great. And that's it. We play the Angels tomorrow. We have Javier going in game 1. Greinke going in Game 2, and do we have an announced player for Game 3? I assume... Oh, it will be Jacob Odorizzi, and I assume then McCullers will probably start the 4th game of that series. So yeah, that is all I have for the video. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And go... I was going to say go Rangers, go Astros.